pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Selectboard's rules of procedure are adopted annually to ensure a productive meeting. Selectboard meetings are in the public, not of the public, meaning that the members of the public in attendance are entitled to the opportunity to comment, but the purpose of the meeting is for the board to be able to effectively and efficiently conduct the necessary business to govern the town. All questions and comments are to be directed to the chair, and the rules of procedure indicate that there will be only 2 minutes allotted for comment from any single person on any single topic. The rules of procedure are posted in the town hall and available for everyone to review. Thank you.
Okay, so members in attendance tonight, we have Mike Beecher, Jessica Van Ort, and Tom Collard. We expect at least Bob Jones to join us at some point. I've got everybody else signed in who's here in person and online. And just a reminder to everybody that Mike is our chair, so any questions or comments can be directed to him. We have one addition this evening, officially as of right now, for an executive session to discuss confidential attorney-client communications made for the purpose of providing, was that Sue? Made for the purpose of providing professional legal services to the body, and that is inviting in Attorney Merrill Bent. We also had an executive session on the docket to discuss employee labor relations agreements, and that was with regard to the posting for the grant administrator position, which I'm not sure if the board is ready to discuss. If so, maybe we can loop both
them
together. Okay.
Seems
instead of
reasonable,
doing one in the middle,
guys are
one
okay
at
with
the
that?
end.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay. I don't have any deletions. I don't think there's anything to delete. Did anybody else have anything to add? Okay. So the minutes that need approval are from our last regular meeting, which was on September 16th.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve those.
Thank you.
A second?
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Lisa is pre-requested. Lisa?
Hello, everybody.
Good evening, Lisa. Thanks for joining us.
Can you hear me? It's the signal isn't great coming through from you, so we'll do our best.
We can hear you great.
Okay. So you want to proceed with the memorandum of understanding that you have in front of you? It is really quite straightforward. We had in our RFP, we didn't have a requirement that the firm do informal appeals, but we did have a requirement that the town provide access to the software on the cloud. And that has proven to be a little pricier to add the vendor staff than they anticipated. So this arrangement was proposed that they would pay the full cost of giving their staff access to the software, and that would not be any additional cost to the town. And in exchange, they were willing to forego informal hearings. As far as I'm concerned, that's kind of a win-win for the town. I am not at all a fan of informal hearings. I don't think it's even legal to call them such. You can do a question and answer session prior to the legal process of lister's grievance, then BCA, then on to court or PV&R. but the informal hearings, there is no process that is recognized in statute or honestly even in best practice among assessors. And in talking it over with John Vickery and his team, we think that we can do a better job and a more efficient job of reviewing the preliminary values with me. And then the staff of Tyler will be in full attendance at any listers' grievances we should hear. That said, we will try to make outreach and explain where the numbers are coming from and what our conclusions are when the preliminary numbers are in. So does that make sense, or do you have questions based on that?
I guess I don't quite understand what an informal hearing. If you would just elaborate a little bit on that, please.
So it's done and is particularly useful in a really large town where the appraisal vendor releases the preliminary values and then holds these meetings with taxpayers who choose to come in to purportedly discuss any errors with their assessment. The reason I'm not a fan of it is it confuses a lot of taxpayers that they think that that's part of the legal process. And you may know that with a grievance process, you have to start with the lister's grievance to proceed to the next level. So sometimes taxpayers end up being confused and thinking these informal meetings are the lister's grievance, and then they don't agree to the listers, and then they are shut out of the process at the next level, which is the BCA. So I think for a small town, it's more transparent, more understandable for the town. And honestly, doing informal meetings with the preliminary values is going to be more work for the appraisal team, more work for me, because if I haven't mentioned, I'm not a fan. So I'm going to supervise that process pretty diligently, and I think my time could be better spent reviewing it with the appraisal team and making sure our numbers are as accurate as we can get them, as defensible as we can get them going into listers' grievances. And then we'll be very clear with taxpayers what the process is that they can file a grievance.
Okay, that makes more sense to me, and it seems like that's kind of a very gray area because you can't resolve anything at that informal meeting. You need to go through the process. If you don't agree with your tax bill, you need to go through the process, talk to you guys and understand it, and then if you still don't believe, put in a formal grievance. Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
That is how it needs to be done, yes.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Julie?
One clarifying,
Oh, good.
just one clarifying thing, because I think that's another point of confusion. You just said if you don't agree with your tax bill, by the time your tax bill comes, it's too late. So what you mean to say is if you don't agree with your assessed value.
Okay. When the numbers come out. Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, by the time the tax bill comes out, it's water over the dam. Okay.
It's a common problem, Julie, if I understood what you said, that people miss the boat at lister's grievance and then want to grieve when they get their tax bill. So I think a lot of outreach, any of your town newsletters, discussing it at town meeting that we're doing a rate appraisal. Tyler is willing and able to do a lot of outreach that way. They have this microsite off of their website where they're giving updates, and they can bring regular progress reports to the board. In fact, I think I have one for Pawlet that I neglected to include with that memorandum of understanding. Basically, they're just getting started. A letter has gone out to taxpayers, giving them the instructions for making an appointment if they need to, or letting us know if we certainly need to make an appointment, for instance, a gated drive or a property that may have tenants occupying it. You can't just do a cold call on that. That said, we do have to attempt cold calls, but we allow appointments as much as possible. So, so that should have gone out, and they're starting inspections within the next 2 weeks. So you'll start to see them around town, and we'll try to give you regular updates, at least monthly or for every meeting if you'd like.
Okay. Okay. Does anybody else have any more questions? If you guys had a chance to review this?
I did look at it,
Okay.
yeah. It seems like it's just basically an in-kind exchange. They're gonna pay for this, and then we're gonna let them do less work for
Right.
us.
Yeah, that's,
In that case, I'll move that we approve this memorandum of understanding between us and John Vickery, project manager at Tyler Technologies.
I'll second that.
any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you for joining us tonight, Lisa. We'll make sure this gets back to you.
Thank you so much. Have a great night, everybody.
Julie has her hand up.
Julie? Oh, wait, Julie.
I feel like I heard a question from Lisa, and maybe I'm the only one that heard it, but I feel like she was asking you if you want monthly or every meeting updates.
Okay.
She's nodding.
Yes, that's a question. What do we want?
I
2
would start
months?
out with monthly.
Monthly, you think is good?
Yeah, I mean, it depends
We
how
need
fast it's
more.
moving, I guess.
Let's start with monthly meeting updates, please, Lisa, and then if there's a lot going on, we may need to bump it ahead. And if you're going to do these in a printed form like this letter, if you could share them with the select board, maybe a little previous to the meeting, it makes everything go a little faster.
We will try to do that, yes.
All right, thank you very much.
Have a great night.
You too.
Yep, I got my letter in the mail. It has a little QR code. I should probably schedule that.
Okay.
Pass that down.
Any announcements tonight?
Nope.
Okay. Zoning administrator is not going to be available tonight.
I don't believe there's any report
And
tonight.
that's what she said. No report. Planning commission is
I
not.
did not receive a report.
Okay. Road foreman.
We do have a report from James. So I will start just with an update. So the individual that we extended the job offer to for the highway position has accepted the offer and plans to start on the 6th of October, which is this upcoming Monday. So that's great. So that will bring us back to a full 3-member team, which is great. I will not be around on that day. Are you okay with getting the paperwork?
I'm ready.
Okay. So perfect. All right. So that's
Is he or she coming with a pre-employment drug test?
so if I could answer. So he
Yes, please.
should be scheduling a pre-employment drug test. I had asked if James wanted to coordinate with you on that, and perhaps that he has not been able to do that yet. So I will, maybe we can connect this week and work to schedule a time to, he'll be working, he's going to start work, and so if he wants to, in the offer letter, not the contract, but in the offer letter, it does indicate that he can get going, and then pending the results of the pre-employment while he's in this trial period and everything, so
Okay.
we'll have to set that up. Okay, so from James, over the last 2 weeks, they finished cleanup on River Road, graded Herrickbrook and Towsley. For 2 days, they hauled in SurePack for shoulders after paving. They conducted an interview for the open job position. Following week, they did stone ditches on a series of culverts by River Road and the Route 153 intersection. Met and introduced with Ethan Pepin from Rutland Regional Planning Commission. Fixed a washout and graded Waite Hill Road. Fixed and reinstalled the Chet Clark sign, which was stolen, which is why it needed to be installed once again. They hauled in winter sand at the Pawlet and West Pawlet town garages over the course of 2 weeks. From there, James has been meeting with Tim this coming week, or within this current week. James is meeting with Tim from Wilk Paving, Ralph Sheldon of Sheldon Mobile Equipment Repair started working on the tractor, which needed repairs. Jim is out for a medical reason, so it's been just James at the moment. Next week, they plan to continue to haul in winter sand at both town garages. Paving is scheduled to start next week. Matthew, who is our new employee, also starts, and I guess Jim is ongoing, will be out. So those are the updates from the highway department.
Quick question.
Yes.
Did you say the Chuck Clark sign was up?
Apparently it was put up and then swiftly
Oh, yeah, it's
taken down
Okay,
by
yes.
someone,
Right.
by someone that decided they needed the sign more than the road did.
Okay, yeah, it's not there.
So
Okay.
apparently he said that he had installed it, was fixed and reinstalled on the week of the 15th.
And it's not, yeah, it's not there now.
It's not there.
It's gone again.
It's gone.
I mean, it wasn't there.
It wasn't there 10 minutes ago.
Okay. Well,
Half an hour ago.
I'll have to make a note that we're gonna have to.
No, we
Yeah,
could
big
weld it
folder.
to the sign.
Yeah.
Is there a Chet Clark that's famous that we're missing something here? You can start selling signs?
When I was a kid, we had near us a road called Hemp Road. And that sign was
wow.
always getting stolen, and eventually
Yeah.
they welded it to the post and put the post in concrete. So I don't know if Chet Clark needs to be welded and put in concrete. I hope not.
Yeah. Huh. All right. Also, it looks like the batteries are in for the speed signs, so. But James is aware of that.
James is aware of that, and
Perfect.
he came today, but he did not have the pickup, so he was going to stop back in.
All right. And I believe
That's it. for
that's
the-
all that I have to offer for
Any
the
other
highway
questions or
department.
comments? Okay. Anything else from the assessors besides what Lisa shared with us? Town clerk's memo. Hey, Deb.
Okay, I just want to update Vinny Cavino. I don't want to block anybody. Vinny Cavino will be here tomorrow to start working on our computers. Windows 10 is trying to interfere with what we're doing, and it's interfering with the assessors. So he's going to come and do some work, and we're going to start talking about upgrading my computer. Next week, I'm meeting with Sandy Pinsino, Representative Sandy Pinsino and Chris Pritchard, to come up with some ideas and verbiage for the issue that seems to be sweeping the country on land fraud and stealing people's land out from under them by transfers. So Chris wants to put together some wording for a bill to be introduced to legislature. We're going to have a meeting. Town offices will be closed on the 15th. Want to say how grateful I am that I was able to attend the Vermont Clerks and Treasurers Association annual meeting. It was very beneficial, and I learned a lot at all of these conferences, so thank you for supporting continuing education with all of us. And that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. Does anybody have any questions for Deb?
I do not. I'm good.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Treasurer's report.
2 warrants this week. Payroll is $9,597.54. Accounts payable is $161,984.46. That includes $119,742 of appropriations, which is almost all of our appropriations, excepting that the because of the size of the fire department appropriations, those are split in half and paid half after September and half after February collections. The breakdown is general fund 156, 653, 37, highway 13,389.66, and wastewater fund $1,538.97. I have the 2 tax collection breakdowns on your sheet for you. And then attached here, I have an update to the discussion that we started last time around grants. So I don't know if you want to approve the warrants and then I go into that, or if you want me to go into it.
I'll go through the warrants first.
Yeah, sure. I'll move that we approve payroll warrant 26019 and accounts payable warrant 26020.
And I'll second that.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
All right, we can sign
Okay.
those.
Now
Okay.
to the grants, please.
Yep, so there's an update on the fiscal year 25 grants and aid project. Those were culverts that were replaced on Beaver Brook and Heatherington. We were awarded $12,000 with a $3,000 match. The final paperwork has been submitted, and I received an update today that it was processed by the state for payment, but we have yet to receive the payment. But that should happen soon. We have fiscal year 26 grants and aid. We have been awarded, we applied for and were awarded $20,000 with a $5,000 match. James has identified several culverts, 1 on Kelly Hill Road and 2 on Waite Hill Road, that he believes are hydrologically connected and in need of replacement. I gave him the pre-construction form to begin filling that out and then taking preliminary pictures. Once that is sent in and we're approved, the work can begin. And then the final paperwork and everything on that needs to be submitted by 9/30/26. For fiscal year Better Back Roads, we have not put in an application. Applications for that are due on October 31st. This particular grant has several categories. James has identified a project that he thinks would fall under category D, which has a maximum award amount of $60,000, and that would be a replacement of a box culvert on Rupert Hill Road and the widening of the corresponding section of roadway to prevent erosion. This project, if we did go with category D, this project would require either a consultation with Agency of Natural Resources engineer or would have to meet requirements from a hydraulic study. I don't know if there's been a study done, so we would need to reach out to A&R.
Okay.
Alternatively, that particular grant has a category B, which could be used for a project of similar size and scope of the grants and aid that I described above. And then the thing that I sent around to you last time had two different categories for bigger projects. One was the Transportation Alternatives Program, and I feel like we should just sort of at this point steer away from that, because a lot of that is around like bike paths and walking lanes and things that we are probably not going to go down that road again for a while. And then it did have something about salt storage. So does this other program. But I guess the concern with building a salt shed is if you're moving your garage soon, is that a worthwhile thing to do? James did say he had an idea of something that would be temporary, but in talking about what that would be, you're talking probably a $50,000 project just to have a temporary solution, and I don't know that would be something that would be approved on a grant. So steering away from that, we had identified the Municipal Highway and Stormwater Mitigation Program. The applications on that are due November 7th. It is a larger project grant, with some grants going up to $250,000, just depending on the scope. The really large grants have study committees and all of that. But I think if we applied for one that was maybe less large than that, we would be able to forego some of that. For that, James had identified River Road as having a large number of culverts that were in need of repair. And And we think that it would probably qualify because of the fact that the river runs all along that. And I guess his thought process is if we could get a big grant to do that all at once and then identify that as a stretch of roadway that in the next couple of years, should we get a paving grant, could be paved, and then that would flow nicely in with where we're already paving.
Well, that's really good. You guys seem to have got a good plan going there.
So I guess the things that you need from us is, looks like under the FY26 Better Back Roads, we need to make a decision about whether to try for that box culvert one or to use it for a similar size project to the grants in aid. Does James have a thought about which one would be better when you talk to him?
I think he really thinks that the box culvert repair would be good, and that particular section of roadway should be widened anyways, because it just is sort of a problem that keeps becoming a bigger problem because of the fact that it's really narrow through there, and it leads to like water runoff, which causes erosion, which causes problems in the culvert. So that's what he was hoping for. I think if you guys think that that's a way to go, first step would be somebody reaching out to whoever is at the state that is in charge of that and asking for their assistance on what that means for us next steps. And then having ready a backup plan to quickly apply for the grant in category B if that doesn't work out.
That makes sense to me.
See if that's a viable option before we even apply for it.
And that has to be done by the end of October, because that's when the application is due. So, yeah.
But we got one more cycle before we'd have to, we have 2 weeks where we could probably, do you think James could take care of making the phone calls and connections to?
Yeah, I think I'm planning on helping him with something again tomorrow. So I will talk to him about sending an email and asking to be CC'd on it, I guess, so I can stay in the loop on this too.
You guys all good with that?
Yeah, that sounds
Okay,
good.
so if you can,
Appreciate
you and
that.
James, you can help James move forward with that, that would be great. And then that will still give us enough time to come up with an option if that one doesn't work out for us.
And for this big one, the Municipal Highway and Stormwater Mitigation Program, I guess that doesn't really need a decision right now until you hear back from the program coordinator to hear if we will could qualify? Okay, great.
But maybe when you're talking to the state, you can let them know that we are, talking about this one too. So in case they made a trip and they can help us there. Appreciate that though. Thank you, Julie.
Oh, Kristen has her hand up.
I just have a quick question. Is this the, would this be for fiscal year, these would be for 27, right?
They're called fiscal year 26 because that's when they open and that's when the awards are given, but it's
Okay.
not when the work has to be done.
Okay, because I know James had emailed me as well about an FY27 program that he was interested in. But I think they're probably 6 of one, half a dozen the other, because it starts in one and overlaps into the other. I was just making sure that, but yeah, I can support and confirm that James is excited about the idea of the Better Back Roads program and is excited to be able to pre-plan for other avenues that he might be able to work to support it and to coordinate with it, which is cool. He's talked to me about it as
I
well.
appreciate hearing that.
Yes,
Yeah, it's great.
very good.
I do have a question for Julie, going back to the first page of the treasurer's memo, just so that I can be clear. So when we, for the tax levy, we've only done the first installment, right? So the delinquent tax levy isn't necessarily delinquent?
It's not delinquent.
Yeah, that's
right.
just what's left that we
That's
haven't
the
done.
remaining tax
Okay.
levy. Yep.
Yep. And for the wastewater, are we 2 quarters have gone?
One.
Just
One, just one.
Okay.
So the amount that's remaining, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. Any other questions for Julie? Thank you for joining us, Julie. Emergency management?
Nothing at this
Nothing
meeting, no.
month. Health officer?
Nothing at this meeting.
Facilities?
Yeah, I got a lot.
I've got one and you've got a lot.
Yours probably should go first, so.
Okay, mine is about the status of us working on the MERC grant for the energy resilience, and I sent this around to the whole select board. Hopefully you got it. Architect, the firm that we're working with, has given us their condition assessments for each building, which is a somewhat detailed list of what they saw as they went around, and also based on the blueprints and drawings I was able to give them for the town hall. If there are blueprints or drawings for the library board, I know. Yeah, what about Marty? You said Marty had some stuff.
Yeah, actually, I did speak with Marty, and I did speak with Marty, thanks. And I need to get back with him. He said he had a lot of detailed notes, but he wasn't specific about schematics or drawings, but
Yeah.
I will actually check back in with him
Thank
tomorrow.
you. Yeah, the main thing that we'd be looking for was not like schematics of things we didn't do. Like for this building, we have some schematics of where we didn't put the elevator. Like those aren't important, but like schematics or drawings of when we did the upgrade to the building, what actually it was done, like with, actual schematics is mainly what we're looking for.
I'm sure he's got stuff that would be valuable, so
Yeah.
I'll touch base with him tomorrow. And he's also really busy, but I will
Yeah.
definitely touch base and ask for him to provide
Yeah.
something.
Thank you.
I'm sure he can.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and anything that they can then just add that to their assessment. But where that project is at right now is that they want to start. They're going to next be doing let's see, what did they call it? A list of how much different things would cost. And at that point is where we're going to have to start making decisions about what we actually want to do from the many different things we could do. And that's where the people who want to work on, I don't know if we're actually calling it a committee, but the group that's going to help decide, where we have two folks, I believe it's going to be Frank and Linda from the Planning Commission want to work on it, and Lauren and is it Grace are going to be working on it for the library.
Okay.
And so, and then me for the select board. I don't think anybody else in the select board has volunteered, but that's fine. I can be the person. And then the folks from Architect. So they're going to set up, once they have that cost list, we're going to set up any meetings that we need to between that group and them to go over possibilities. And then of course, whatever that group recommends will come to the select board for deciding. That's where that's at.
Frank?
I'll clarify it on Thursday specifically, but at the open meeting law, what they're inferring is basically the entities that apply to the open meeting, like select board, if they have subgroups, that what applies to the select board would apply to the subgroups.
There's not enough people in any of those to constitute a quorum, so we're all set.
So, no, I'll clarify it with the Secretary of State on Thursday at the meeting.
Kristen?
I'd just like to follow up on that. We ran into this when there was the working group who is helping to deal with the property with the right-of-way going up towards where we might like to. So it shouldn't be called a committee or a commission, or it's just a working group.
Okay.
And it's completely advisory.
It's all
They won't be making
advisory.
any
It's just a group of impassioned individuals who have relative experience to and interest in this project, who are advising along the way.
Well, good, thank you. So that seems to be going in a good positive direction. Thank you for taking that on for the select board group. And the rest of you for taking it on for your own groups.
Thanks for forwarding that email. I read through it, and I see that we might have a couple crossovers, but that's nothing that's going to happen for months anyways, right?
Oh, no, it wouldn't. Yeah, what they would plan on doing the building next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll continue on with what I'm working on. The first thing I'd like to start with is town hall front doors. Should be getting them pretty quickly. one of the approvals tonight was for the balance of the doors. They're complete. Hopefully you picked them up yesterday, but I haven't seen any other email other than that. So I'll keep the board and the committee and the town informed on that as we move forward. Next thing is there's a door at the town garage. I've been in touch with a contractor. We got to get some paperwork to Julie, but we need to replace the door at the town garage.
walk door or over?
Walk-through door.
Walk-through.
So I got a hold of a contractor. He's going to complete the paperwork, and then he's going to get the door and get that replaced for us. We got broken. So, and then the bids on doing all the buildings that we talked about, all the different things.
Mm-hmm.
I have received one for a complete that I passed on to the committee, and those that have read it. It's a big dollar amount. Still waiting for a second one, so we got two to compare to. But in the meantime, I did go ahead and reach out to a roofer. That flat roof going into the library is definitely leaking. And the seams, it's a copper roof, and the seams have come apart. So the water's going down into that and going back into that. So he's gonna, get that to where hopefully he can fix those seams and get us by until we decide which way we're gonna go, but at least minimize any more risk of that building getting damaged. I did call Meg and asked her because the word caulk came up, and that's a nasty word in the world of historic buildings. So he's going to try to do it with copper, but it was just a brief conversation I had with Meg. I just wanted to check, make sure that I wasn't. We got to patch it. We got to stop the problem, and I just wanted to make sure that was okay. I also spoke with another contractor, the windows. That's why I was asking about the other. Hopefully in the month of October, they'll come over and they'll replace those broken windows that are in the library on the bottom. So don't know about washing the windows yet, ladies. Working on that for you. I did make a note of that. So, but at least we can hopefully get that done before it gets too cold. And then the brush around the town hall. Working with the town crew, they got to complete that, and I'll talk with James, but James got his hands pretty full right at the moment, so he's got it cut all around it pretty good, so it looks really nice in the sense it's away from the building. We just got to tidy it up now and clean it up, get it up out of there. And then painting of the building, even though we have some sections of the building that might not be able to be painted, I did reach out to a painting company, and they're going to meet me here October 14th about doing a section that I think we can fix or paint that doesn't need any repairs. Okay. But it's not going to be this fall. It'll be in the next spring. But at least we're on the hopefully get on the dance ticket, and
You're going to look at both buildings when he's here, so you can get his opinion on future.
Yep, I'm going to have the individual look at complete thing, but there's that one section I think that they can at least definitely get us that would be patched up.
Perfect.
So, but welcome to take any questions.
Nice work.
Thanks.
Very good.
I remembered that I got the email from Meg, since you mentioned Meg. I got the email from Meg that she wants to come out again. It's that time. Did you, Sue, you said you responded to her email? You also got an email.
About
She complete.
just a form to fill out
Yeah.
as to what we've done in the past year and what we were, and the big jobs we were planning.
Did you fill it out for just the library or for both buildings?
Both buildings.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I wasn't sure whether I needed to do it now, but if you did that, I'll just.
She needed it by a certain date.
Yeah, great,
so
thank
I just
you.
did it. And if there's any questions, I mean, you can always
Absolutely.
look.
Yeah, I anticipate when she comes out, she's going to be like, you didn't paint that yet. But we can let her know that so when you talk to the painters, just that side of the town hall is the one that Meg was very on us about painting.
That's exactly the side we're talking about.
That's the side we're talking about. Okay. I can tell her steps are being taken, that we are hiring somebody, but they might not be able to do it till spring.
Sue?
Just one quick, the,
Sue,
oh,
thank you.
it's not that interesting. The brush on the side, that looks great, and it's way away from the building, and that'll help everything, and I just, it's wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the neighbors, I definitely want to make comment to the town folks that our neighbors on both sides of this town hall and behind us have been very, very helpful and been great to work with. So kudos for having good neighbors. Makes good
Great.
buildings.
Okay, one thing, facilities, I talked with Jake about the heat pump for the sewer plant, and he said that, you know, each year the technology increases so much that actually works fine down to 13 below, but it still works after that. And he doesn't feel because there's only 2 outside walls on that, the baseboard in the room, the other area is heated, that there's any reason to consider any additional type of backup sources or anything like
So
that.
just do the heat pump for
Just that one heat pump and the baseboard heat for the bathroom.
Okay.
So that's where we
Thanks.
stand with
He's
that.
the expert. If that's what he recommends, I'll go with him.
So far, he hasn't steered us wrong on anything. Any of the work he's done.
Well, they definitely keep improving them. I agree with that.
Yeah, he says that they've just got, it just keeps, because I asked him about the questions, and he said now it's got to the point where they use a bigger outdoor unit and a cool, heat and cooler temperatures.
So do we need to make a motion tonight to go ahead and move
It
along
probably
with
would be a good idea to get that going so he can,
that? I didn't bring those numbers with me, but you got the quote, so.
Yeah, that is.
Well, if you guys are okay with that, then after Mike's research, I would say we make a motion that we go ahead and use Williams Plumbing and Mechanical to go ahead and put that heat exchange pump over in wastewater
and
For-
the baseboard unit.
and the baseboard, electric baseboard unit for the 9579.
And I'll second that.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, I'll let him know that he can.
You want me
Julie?
to-
Was that going to come from the capital projects fund?
I would think that it probably should, because it's a town building that we need to. You guys are all,
I'm
That
okay
makes
with that.
sense, yeah.
does that need to be part of the motion, or?
I can amend my motion to include it. It comes from the capital funds.
Just sure,
Just-
why not,
yeah.
just in case.
Better dot our i's, cross our t's twice.
Do
Thank
you
you.
accept the friendly amendment, Jessica?
He made the motion in the first place, so yes, I'll
Right.
second or accept or whatever is needed.
The amended motion, okay.
Should just write ditto.
Yeah.
Anything else? No reports from the wastewater?
Nope.
It's off. Okay, so it's 1:15. Let's see if we can push through and get the rest of this over and then go into executive session.
Okay.
Reports of community, Meadowy School Board?
Yes, at our regular meeting on Friday, September 26th at the BRSU office, the board monitored our ENDS policy report from Dr. Lowe. We adopted a library material selection and behavioral threat assessment policy. We spent extensive time monitoring several executive limitations policies, and we also spent time discussing the statewide redistricting and approved holding a public forum at the start of our next meeting in order to hear community priorities. So our next meeting will be on October 6th at 7:30 or at the Meadowy Community School, and that will be directly following a public forum that starts at 6:30. And that's regarding Act 73 redistricting and education reform in Vermont. We welcome all to come and hear about the steps your board has already taken and potential strategies that we are exploring. And we ask that you please come share your priorities with us to help shape the board's future advocacy. So really,
Thank you.
please people come and participate, because it's getting down to the wire where we need to know how to advocate. So we need you to tell us what you prioritize.
So
Thank
can you
you.
just say that date and time again?
Yes,
For the public meeting?
it is October 6th, 6:30 p.m. at the Meadowy Community School.
Great, thank you.
Public library, is there anything to report from the library?
Yeah, just a couple things. The library's been open its regular hours, and we plan on keeping it open regular hours.
Okay,
And there's a robotics class that's going to be starting tomorrow at 3:30. Anne Marie Witt's teaching it, and it's for children between about first grade up to 12 years old. And,
Okay.
It'll be fun.
okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Older unfinished business. New business. I think we've covered everything. Public comment. Frank?
I was wondering with this new position, I was wondering with the new position for a grant person,
Yes.
if there's, might be staff that could be talented and do that type of work, who could take those duties on for additional pay in lieu of having a new position where they're already on the books and everything's all done, and they are good at that type of thing maybe, and might want some more money and do that. Just wondering about that.
Well, one of the things is some of the staff is elected, not hired, so that would be a consideration. But yes, we would certainly consider anyone that's interested in the position to please come forward. Anything else under new business? Public comment, I mean, excuse me. Somebody on there for public comment? Okay.
This is also on mute, that's all.
Alright.
We're not on mute. We're not muted.
No, Corey Rail
Right,
is
but
also on mute.
if she wanted to speak, she could raise her hand.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so I will text Mary.
A suggestion, you could make a motion to enter to discuss while you wait for Marilyn the 10 minutes to discuss your personnel
Yes.
Yeah.
items.
So if we move into go into executive
I'll
session.
move that we go into executive session to discuss employee labor relations agreements with employees.
And, okay, she's right, so
And-
she'll be coming right on.
And to discuss confidential attorney-client communications made for the purpose of providing professional legal services to the body with Attorney Merrill.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All right, thank you all for coming tonight. Have a good evening.